of the building.
Soccer is actually, we made a very classical thing. We said actually the flats and everything is okay. The problem is this shopping center, and we give the high-rise just really this classical soccer. And this is on the ground floor the shops, on the upper floor some offices. Because the landscape behind, it's really nice. Here you can't see that there is a highway between, that the highway is 6 meters down, so you can't see it, you just have the noise, of course, but in the end it's a nice surrounding. Zürich Warsztaty, it has a completely different program there. We have to make flats for elderly people. Warsztaty, with our composition of buildings here, and we have it's in the structure of the existing city. We have here an existing restaurant.
Yes, in daily situation, the most of the time, which can present that Zaspa is much more like bedroom. It's really big bedroom, but the
and start doing something else because
Też zaczynamy właściwie takiej quasi-religijnej wizji dotykać. W tym sensie, że właściwie architekt staje się kreatorem, twórcą. Świat niszczy i stwarza od nowa. Prawda? Jest przepiękne zdjęcie, które teraz Państwu pokażę, już późniejszego Corbusiera, który już jako bardziej dojrzały architekt pokazuje swój ten wcześniejszy projekt, tę makietę. I proszę, jak to zdjęcie jest skadrowane, jak ono wygląda. Uwielbiam. To jest ręka Boga. Sama wysokość, wypiętrzenie tego ruchu pieszego, no to już jest przerażające, prawda? To jest, ale nie wiem, może mniejszy hałas. Na pewno można było to racjonalnie ustawić. Mniej spalin dociera, prawda? To jest, na pewno jakieś tam, jakbyśmy poczytali komentarze, to na pewno miało, to nie był, broń Boże, jakiś taki totalitarny gest, prawda? Tylko to na pewno miało wyjaśnienie racjonalne i praktyczne. Tak czy inaczej, tak to sobie wyobrażano w teorii, a w praktyce ten sam Hilbersheimer zaprojektował, no, podobnie jak Corbusier, wyburzenie części zabytkowego Berlina. Jak Państwo widzą, w samym centrum z najważniejszymi zabytkowymi budynkami Berlina, prawda? Więc znowu to samo. Więc widać, ale to jest wszystko, to są utopie. To są wszystko rzeczy, które nie miały żadnej szansy powodzenia. Więc równie sugestywne, że ten blicht pozorny mieszczańskiego wnętrza, który jest przekreślony, a zamiast tego, oczywiście to jest hasło jak mieszkać, prawda? I co tutaj? Co jest odpowiedzią na to, jak mieszkać? Oczywiście nie to, tylko to, co tutaj mam na dole. Wystawa mieszkaniowa Wergmundu niemieckiego. Stuttgart 27.
let's stop drawing now and let's put everything.
They're really simple systems. So actually, 2 men they make 1 floor a day. So it's also really fast. Here you see that's Roman, our apprenticeship, and he was doing 2 weeks on the construction side, and he was really proud of what he could do.
These vertical beams are construction?
Yeah, these are really 10 to 20.
Pillars, yes?
Yeah, like pillars. It's like a linear wall, and they are like 20 to 10 centimeters, or 10 centimeters thick. And they are bearing loads 4 times, it's 4 times stronger than 18 centimeter brick wall. And really the one problem is fire. So you have to cover it completely. So actually in the end you won't see that it is a wood house.
On one side there is a strong border, it's the Grunwaldka Street, which is heavy traffic, and there's a rail, which also creates a very strict border. So in fact, I think this part is not accessible. It's only one-way passage to the
And this I find a very good drawing. And what you can see is that city. You see these sort of tangential streets, sort of kind of a grid, right? Whereas here around Zaspa, what you see is sort of a road that is rather encapsulating the neighborhood and doesn't create the.
It's different from the surroundings, the scheme of the streets.
The no car zone. Interesting to see that this would look like that as a building. And that's not only interesting because the proportions are even there very different from what happens with these slabs, but also because these sort of intermediate spatial qualities happen within here. So it's actually within the volume. The Yuri Pimenov is showing a wedding in under crazy circumstances, where I think that the point this painting makes is that even under such circumstances, people try to somehow follow their initial norms, and by creating this wooden deck, still be able to sort of march in to the wedding as if they would be walking through a cordonneur in a Baroque castle. Now the image on the right is a recent private development on the outskirts of Belgrade, Serbia, where the owner of this house has a very clear idea of what is the symbol of status here. The proportions of the building, the columns used. So he's actually trying to produce the image of exceptionality and the image of high class. This main structure, the question you raised, to what extent are we dealing with street spaces, and to what extent do we have islands of these sort of freestanding buildings? What are the typologies we can use in these different locations? We're not doing architecture. When you do a master plan, you don't design buildings, but you can set certain volumes. For example, you can say that I don't know, the ground floor has to be higher and it has to be twice as broad as, I don't know, there are
basically by forming the right size of the site, it's like the site typology, or the ownership typology, you can for yourself imagine what the investor could do about this. And sometimes he's so limited that he can only make this right building, and sometimes it's like various possibilities, like creating a little block or creating like a grid structure. So you have to keep in mind that in this moment he will be free to do more or less whatever he wants. That's what we have seen in the lecture about Affolter. The master plan was like this, and then they started like varying it.
No tutaj można by zamówić, łazawsko mówiąc, mieszkania małe, tak? No ale road is only mock-up. It's only for advertising. It's actually a border. Collages to show the atmosphere, or to show you are handicapped, you said, but you are twice so handicapped because we just made some collages out of what we are talking about today.